New Orleans because it's going to be the finale. And well, I guess it really kind of depends on whichever one is uploaded first, too. So either one, I don't know. Before the day is gone, both of them will be seen. So I will say that. But today, y'all, well, first of all, can I just say, we back again? And first things first, child, we are almost there. I am at literally 99 subscribers.
We're going to celebrate now for the 100 because
That's
by
what
the
I
end of the
said.
night, you'll be there.
Yes, by the time we finish, we will be there. We're already on to the next goal of 500. But again, I just want to say welcome and welcome back. Here you can expect laughs, lipstick, black TV show recaps, black sitcom rewinds, because that's what we're doing today. So proper drama and trivia. Okay, so we're already on the road to 500 now. We claiming it right now. And don't forget to like the video on your way in, and don't forget to follow both of us. Actually, this is Shayna's new channel as well. So make sure, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to her new channel.
Yes. If you're not
And
subscribed to
happy,
the old channel, the main channel, subscribe to that one as well because we're trying to get that
yes, yes,
one
yes,
back
the
on
main
track.
channel as well. That's Shayna underscore MCD and Shayna underscore MCD TV. So
So we'll
please
be
do.
there.
So okay, so then like I said, today is a new episode for our Rewind the Light Black Sitcom Spotlight. This is a new series that we have where we take a nostalgic trip back to our favorite sitcoms and uncover the timeless life lessons in a new light. And in this case, we are viewing our favorite sitcom friendships through experienced eyes to determine if whether they are actually true friendships or toxic frenemies. So Shayna and I had discussed our very first group that we're going to talk about. Shayna and I figured that found out that we have a mutual love for this particular show. And so I'm like, oh, we should definitely do a collab for this one because, and the reason why I'm going to say them first, we're actually going to be talking about girlfriends first. Now, the reason why is because a long time ago, I saw someone posted on, I don't know, somewhere on social media, but they were saying how Joan was the most toxic character on the show. And I was taken aback.
Yeah, I
Like,
wouldn't agree.
so we
Did
had
we
to
not
go.
meet Tony Childs? I don't. Okay.
Thank you. That's what I said. I'm like, what? I cannot believe that they are saying that. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't have her toxic ways, but I am going to say that I don't think she was the most toxic. Okay, so what y'all saying in the thank you? Yes, please do. Oh, woohoo!
You gonna blink and 500 will be there. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so tickled. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. Let's get started.
Congratulations.
Let's get started. Oh my goodness. Thank y'all. Yes, that's what I said. Absolutely not Joe. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Yes, indeed. Tony is the number one for me. Okay.
Yeah, me too, twin. Hey,
Okay.
Tamika.
Hey Tamika. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for the update yesterday, too. So glad that you are on the mend. You're gonna be back up here before you know it.
Yep.
Yep, you talked about this last week, DeMarcus, about her 90-day rule. I don't agree that it was trash. I don't think you should just give away your goodies to any and everybody anytime they feel like it. So we'll see. All right. So, like I said, the first one is girlfriends. So, first of all, Shayna, who do you think you're most like as a friend?
None of them. They all. If I had to pick one, maybe Maya, but really, when we really think about it, they're all toxic. I just think Tony was the worst.
Okay. See, okay. So I think I'm a cross between Joan and Lynn. Just I'm not as neurotic as Joan is, but I love a good holiday. I like themes. And I'm also like a multi hyphenate too, which is very much so Lynn. As a matter of fact, Lynn and I have the same birthday. And
Oh,
so I'm like a little bit, and then with a sprinkle of Maya. Okay. I feel like Tony's the most toxic, but but she is my favorite though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, I mean, I always like Maya. You know, she had that little mishap with Darnell, and you got to tell us when's your birthday? When is you and Lynn's birthday?
February the 19th.
That's right, because it just passed. So happy belated. And now we
Thank you.
just getting into March, a new season, over
Thank
100
you.
subs.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And can we just take a moment for just a second? I was gonna play it, but folks warned me in the comments last week about playing stuff. I don't want to be getting no
Don't do it.
copyright, and I did, so I had to go in and edit the video. But um, let's just take a moment for a second just to say R.I.P. to um Angie Stone. Ooh, one of the greatest out there, and she is actually the singer of the theme song. That girlfriends.
May she
That
rest.
is May She Rest.
Very
She was my
unexpected.
sorority sister. She literally just got initiated a few months ago.
Wow.
And she was one of our honorary members. And yeah, May She Rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very unexpected, but
very, very. So we are going to talk about her with the utmost joy in honor of her for Girlfriends. So again, to address this whole Joan is the toxic one. I do feel like Joan was an enabler,
that's
but
that's accurate. She was, which is I think why Tony was part of the reason why we see that's why Tony was the way she was.
mhm.
And everyone was. That's why I can't identify with Joan. She likes to be needed, but it's like you like to get taken advantage of. I just
Mhm. Yeah, because speaking of that, like she literally, this is another reason why I don't know why they don't give her a break sometimes though, but like she's literally every single character has lived with her at one
right.
point. Every single one of them, including Monica, including Darnell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They were it was why when she did go, I felt like she was the ultimate friend. She was always there for them emotionally, financially, you know what I'm saying, mentally, all of that. And then the one time she acted up and when she became the it girl, she had never been the it girl before.
Right.
And when she did, they just acted like they couldn't forgive her.
Yeah. And I mean, and she's to blame. She let it go on too long. Like it was ridiculous. And even with her and Tony, I think they were more so committed to the length of the friendship, like the length of time they were friends. At this point, like I don't have anything in common anymore. But just because you were friends since childhood, we just had to keep it going. You really don't.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, so then when Tony left and she didn't come back, you were okay. You were in agreement with that.
No, the show was trash after that. That's why I got canceled.
Oh.
And it was just, I wish Tony didn't quit the show when she did because there was still so much storyline left with her and, the child support situation. So, and I think I wanted to see her become a better friend once she became a mother, but we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like she was growing, but as she was growing, that's when Joan was coming into her own. And she had to learn through her own, toxic behaviors as well. And they just were not on the same page at the same time.
Mhm. Right, like you said, she didn't show up. Joan was having her moment, late to court, and it's like, oh, how could you? And it's like, how many times did y'all not show up for Joan?
Right,
Like, how many times? I will say
right.
with the 90-day rule, though, I think that with DeMarcus saying that was trash, I don't think it's the fact that she made them wait 90 days. For me, it was trash because she kept telling them, stop telling them that they're waiting 90 days. Like, I couldn't stand it every time she dated someone new. It's like, you have to wait 90 days. Oh, no, it's 89 days. We got to wait one more day. Stop. If you're going to wait 90 days, that should be something that keep it between you and yourself. Why are you telling them?
But maybe she used it as maybe she just didn't want to have to keep making excuses as to not giving it up. And then she just said, no, this is just something we're going to look forward to. I mean, she was neurotic when it came to it, and she was doing a
And
little
then
bit
just
too much.
always acted up. She didn't find anybody until right at the very end. So it's like it didn't work. If a man's gonna act up, he's gonna act up. He'll just wait the 90 days. And then on the 91st day, he's gonna act a fool. So
Right.
Keep it to yourself. Let it be suspenseful.
I agree. I agree with that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is Demarcus' question. That actually living single is next, but well, before we answer this though, Demarcus, well, is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of girlfriends? I will say about Tony and Joan, they were, like you said, they were codependent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there was any saving them at some point unless they both were committed to changing. But I think it probably should have been over. I was just sad that that they let that's the way that it ended.
Yeah, ended so abruptly.
Yeah.
And then we had to put more focus on because Joan and Tony were like the actual closer friend. Because there's always like there's the four. It's always like a group of four, but two and two are always closer. So it's like now she's trying to kind of force it. Lynn could have really went for me. Like this whole homeless thing is just getting tired.
Yeah.
Her dating William, it was a mess. And it's like, okay, well, her real friend is Tony. I kind of wanted Joan to branch off and get some new friends.
But then they wouldn't have been girlfriends. Because I felt like they all had some very toxic ways. You just mentioned Lynn. She's probably my least favorite character, even though we share that birthday. Is because she is such a mooch. I think she was the friend that was always there for people emotionally, but girl, she never pulled her weight.
Yeah, I
And
didn't see the benefit of her being around. And then it's like Maya was a new friend to the group.
yeah, and Maya,
Since
she had
inception.
her stuff too. I mean, the
Yeah.
way I like Maya and she was funny, but some of the things in her love for keeping it real, no, ma'am, you can't talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah.
Just because you keeping it real. No, ma'am.
She was taking advantage, even with her being Joan was her boss. Like there was just nobody respected Joan. Like I am tired of seeing you getting walked all over like a welcome mat. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that Tony, even though I didn't like her gold digging ways, or when she stole Joan's man the one time and was sleeping with a man in her house. Like this stuff is out of control. I mean, this would never happen in real life.
Yep.
Goodness. But I'm
No,
like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, at least I could see why she had the standards. Like she wasn't just gonna let men take advantage of her in a way that Joan does. But then it's like you're doing the same way that men are mistreating Joan. Like y'all are mistreating Joan too as friends.
Yep, best friends. Definitely. And then William, he came and I felt like he gave a little bit of balance to the girls because I liked that in where Maya was working for Joan and she was a pushover for her, William set her straight. Like, no, he put boundaries in place for her. Like, girl, I'm about to fire you. He put her on probation, and then he did ultimately fire her. But even in that, he was being a friend because she
Right.
was like, "Oh, I'll quit." And he's like, "Oh, so what you saying is you don't want unemployment?" He was telling her, "Girl, your britches are too big at this point.
Right.
Fly, get out the nest and fly. You writing your book, get out there and do your
Yeah.
thing." And I felt like he was
her
a really,
book.
huh?
I said it helped. I mean, it helped her with her book.
I agree. I agree. Hey, Jay. Welcome. I'm behind in the comments a little bit. Thank you. Thank you again. That's why you think you're Joan because of the theme thing, and she's very much like this. Oh Lord. So Miss Kira agrees with you about keeping the 90-day rule to yourself. Now Demarcus thinks that Joan was controlling. I mean, just only when they were doing Christmas carols.
Yeah. She did feel like they had to always be there. So it goes along with her being an enabler.
Yeah.
Yeah, why you look like, oh, poor Joan. Everybody's like, oh, I have pity for Joan. They walk all over her. But it's like a form of control. She wants to keep them at her house.
Mm-hmm. But remember that one episode for Christmas when they found her diary or whatever? It was basically that she never really could have a Christmas with friends and family because they were always traveling. And so
Yeah.
that they found out that was basically the reason why she was so, because her parents were not, she's the only child and her parents were just not very,
I will say it
business.
wasn't just Christmas. She was like kind of forcing them there all the time. Like if they had an event or something going on and somebody's missing or somebody's late, like her anxiety, like they had to be there at all times. And it might have been a only child thing. I don't know.
Hmm. I can't believe that Lynn and Joan shared William.
Well,
Well,
that's
actually, I mean, Joan and William really couldn't do the do.
yeah, right, yeah. And they didn't really. I don't know because it's like Joan dated William, but it's still just too. Like, where are we going with this? Like, where are we going with these storylines? It's getting out of
I
control.
never thought that they were a good match.
Yeah, it
It's-
just when they try to, it seemed like it would make sense, and then when it happened, it just. Mm-mm. I would have
yeah.
taken Hakeem and Moesha over Jonah Williams.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Moesha too, child. Let's get there. So Andy is June 2.0. Is that true?
Ah, yeah, but I don't think they walk all over Andy like they did with Joan. So yeah, maybe like a not as doormatty type of version 2.0. There's always the one who's the one.
Right. Yes, for Joan for sure. And she didn't want William with any other girlfriends. I mean, I agree, except for Monica. I thought he was a good match. He and Monica were a good match. The
Yeah.
second Monica, not the first time we had Monica, because she was doing too much.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
second time she came around, yeah. And then she fit kind of right in. She was, and I think that people were thinking that she was supposed to be trying to replace Tony. I'm like, she could never replace Tony, but she held her own. She was
Yeah, she
funny.
was. And
You
then
didn't
especially
like
having that history. I feel like it was cool, for what it was. I feel like at that point, once Tony left and then they moved, Maya moved, it was like everything, the whole dynamic changed. It was just time to end it.
oh, but not without that wedding though, because we needed that wedding.
Yeah, we could have had that. It just Joan trying to get a new job. Like everything is just it's too much happening at once. But I mean, in such as life, things change. But
They do. And I think you have, we learn how to give each other, ourselves, and everybody grace. So what's the
yeah,
verdict? What's our verdict for girlfriends? Were they true friends or toxic frenemies?
toxic frenemies for sure. Because it came out when they get on Mad Day, they was exposing each other's business and everything else. Toxic frenemies.
Ooh, see, we don't agree. I think they were true friends. However, their subsets, Joan and Maya, not Joan and Maya. Well, yeah, no, Joan and Maya, not Joan and Maya,
Joan and
Tony and Maya, and Tony and Joan. I definitely feel like they were toxic frenemies.
I mean, yeah, Tony was really a friend of me with everybody. I guess Lynn was just,
She had no comparison
yeah,
to,
she was
to
just
Lynn, I
around. So
suppose. So she did there was nothing to be jealous of Lynn about, I suppose. So I don't know. Moving on though. So our next one is, and Demarcus already mentioned it, but living single. Now Monique says that they were flawed but true friends, and that's how I feel about it. And I like the idea that, because I feel like Girlfriends was living single of the 2000s, or if we reversed it, I feel like
yeah,
Living Single is the Girlfriends of the 90s.
yeah.
And but
Living single, they definitely were tighter. Definitely a little
definitely,
more authentic. I mean, they were roommates too, so I feel like it made more sense versus it's like, oh, I'm at home and y'all just walking in at any given moment all the time. Like, I hate it. They do it on every show. I
yep.
still don't think they were true friends, so I don't know. Maybe if we get the Insecure like with Molly and Issa, I'll take that. But not with
No, wait a minute. Who did you think weren't girlfriend? Weren't real friends? You talking about girlfriends?
yeah, I think they were friends. I think they were just there's like a codependency there, but true
Definitely,
friends, no.
definitely. I don't know. I mean, I still feel like you can have, very flawed things, but I do feel like they if you're in that situation for real, you definitely have the opportunity to say, either we're going to work on this and be for real, or we just need to walk away. And nowadays, though, the patience level is just not there. So I would probably be more likely to walk away from
Yeah,
stuff that's just too toxic. Because, girl, why am I going to therapy with my friends? Like, that's just crazy.
right. And then Tony imposed on her therapist like that. What kind of friendship is this? This isn't their friends.
Yes.
You're my friend would respect my boundaries.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, Living Single was the black version of the show Friends. No, ma'am.
It was the other way
No,
around.
ma'am.
It was the other way around.
Living Single is the blueprint,
Yeah.
and Friends is
And
the copycat.
Right.
So they're the white version of Living Single. How about
Yeah.
that?
Living Single is already in
And they
existence.
stole it.
Yeah. See how
And
they
it's
take stuff from us and this is the black version of no.
not this time. Living Singles, they were true friends. I agree. However, I still feel like there's a subset in there. They got into each other's business, I feel like, a lot. Now, if we compare the two, can we do comparisons? Are we saying Joan and Khadijah?
Nah.
Not exactly, but
No. I
no.
mean, I guess they yeah, well somebody has to be that like matriarch and like the mom of the friend group. So I guess in that sense, yeah. But Khadijah wouldn't let nobody walk all over her like Joan did.
True that. Maya and Max.
Um, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Except, just accept that they were on different levels in
yeah,
life.
career wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Max herself together, but Max lived across the street. She didn't really live with them. She's coming over, popping in, saying, "Hey." She's
Hmm.
outspoken.
But that taking advantage thing is both of them on point.
Yeah,
See,
I come
because
over there
Max
like, "Do you not have food at your home? What's going on?"
she didn't. Max was eating up their food. She was using up their electricity, using all their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn and Sinclair.
Yeah, yeah. Even though Sinclair at least pulled her own weight, where Lynn was just a bum.
True, but to me, they're each my least favorite character of each show.
Yeah. Even
Sinclair
though
was annoying to me.
I like that Sinclair had, a relationship. Like she had something going. Lynn didn't even really have like a storyline. She was just like there hanging on.
Hmm. Yeah, just no job and ridiculous because she had 5 degrees and no job.
Yeah, like
Just ridiculous. Friends of convenience. You mean girlfriends? Because I really feel like
yeah,
Living Single was definitely, and then Tony and Regine,
yeah, definitely.
definitely shallow,
Yeah,
fashion forward. But, I mean,
I like Regine.
me too. I love Regine, but I also love Tony. But I didn't feel like Regine was an ingrate. Like, and the one main difference between the two of them is that Regine was definitely bougie, but on a budget. And Tony don't know nothing about no budget because
No,
she said she ain't going back to Fresno, and that's it.
right.
So no.
So you had the means to cover it though until she got with that man, and that man took her money. But this Regine was smart, but she still kept it,
Hmm.
stylish.
They tried to give Lynn a storyline with Bosco. Yeah, he was a bum than she was.
Two bums living in a garage. I mean,
I was not feeling that. And then had the nerve to get a dog. Boy, what?
yeah, and he just refused to get a job. I liked her better with Common than Bosco.
Ew. What did she call him? What did Olive Garden? Omar. Oh my gosh.
At least when he did the poem, he spilled some tea. Oh, Sharina, I like Sinclair too. I just think out of all the characters, like she's my least favorite out of all the characters. But I like all the characters on Living Single.
I like all the characters on Living Single, but I found Sinclair to just be annoying sometimes. Sometimes she was not as self-aware as she could have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, she played a
Um,
little ditzy country cousin.
and it's not even so much the ditzy part for me, it was that she overstepped boundaries sometimes. And it wasn't cool to me, especially that one. It was one particular episode where she was really encroaching on Kyle and Overton's apartment. That one was super crazy. And
Yeah,
so yeah, but I like Sinclair. She always brought the sunshine and the trolls.
got to
So
keep positivity going.
yes. Girlfriend's just okay. Why y'all hating on Lynn? Lynn was an educated, what did her mama call her? You overeducated, spoiled brat.
Yeah, it's just a
That's exactly what
full-time
she was.
student. Just hating on what exactly?
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing to hate on.
Because she was leaning on that adopted thing for 1,000
Yeah.
years. Ma'am,
The
you
only
are a
interest that
well-adjusted
she
adult.
had was when her sister came up there and was acting like a wigger. But I mean, outside of that, I feel like Lemon Single, like everybody, brought something to the table. Lynn really just didn't bring anything.
Well, I'm gonna give it to her. I feel like she still brought the emotional support. She was always there for her friends. She just couldn't be there financially, and that she took a lot of advantage of them. But whenever somebody needed to talk or a hug or to um, free labor, she was there.
Yeah, and then
You
it's like
know,
they were paying when she was doing labor. Like she had to, I gotta pay you to come over. Like, no. What kind of friendship is this though? Like where you just take, and I get to talk. You can't give me advice on anything because you can't offer anything. Like it's not doing it. Like I couldn't be friends with somebody like that. I had a friend who didn't have a car, and that was alone was exhausting. Like I can't be the only one driving. I can't take it.
I
So I can
agree.
only imagine being friends with somebody who's homeless.
I agree. There was that one time though that she gave Tony a credit card, and when Tony didn't have any money, so I was like, okay, her scamming ways finally helped somebody. So yeah, Lynn
That's
was
what I'm looking for,
exceptional.
a professional student. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so the set it off friendship. Ooh, wait, I didn't put them on my list.
Yeah.
They're not a sick,
That's not a sitcom. That's a movie.
but I mean, that was also, I can't talk about it. I mean, it was a sad case. Their friendship was it was a sisterhood, but it was like rooted in necessity and scarcity, and
Yeah.
they were there for each other, but it was just a very I can't even watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's so
I do
sad.
feel like that was a true friendship though. Like even though there was, like I said, it was out of necessity and there was some dependency and a need for each other, but they were true friends.
Right.
Where it's like I'm
I,
just friends with you just because we've been friends for so long and I don't
I
have nowhere to
agree.
live.
Yep, I agree. So what's the verdict on living single, true friends, or toxic frenemies?
Oh, they're true friends.
Absolutely. Same. I agree. Totally.
Especially
Now
the wedding
next,
episode. That was like give you the warm and fuzzies.
I agree. And they always wrapped it in a bow. This was a sitcom in
Hmm.
its classic form. I
Yeah.
felt like Girlfriends turned into a dramedy
Yeah.
over time. So now our next one is the Martin Group.
I love Martin. Hey, black girls getting their shift together.
Hey, hey. Hey, how you doing? Welcome.
Like the video, everyone, if you haven't already.
Thank you. So, Martin. Personally, I think they were a toxic group.
Really?
Yes. I did not like the way that Martin talks to Pam. Now, I know that they traded jabs,
Yeah.
but they oftentimes, I felt like Martin started it. And I just, in general, like, I couldn't let my man talk to my best friend like that. So I was always side eyeing Gina, like why she let Martin talk to her like that. That was just crazy. Some of them were below the belt a
Yeah.
little bit for me, but some of them were absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I think most of them were hilarious for me. I mean, it was like a brother and sister. Really, I just felt like he should have really been with him. Like they should have been the couple.
Oh no.
Like, I think they have more chemistry, but I mean, I love Martin and Gina too.
What?
That's why he had the dream that he was dreaming about being with him because he had
That
that
is true. That
dream.
is true. But
Yeah,
I also I didn't like the way they treated Cole either. I felt like Cole was a
yeah,
sweet person and he was always there for them. I mean, yeah, did he play the he played the dumb role, I
yeah,
suppose. But I feel like they didn't give enough credit to him because and they acted like he was such a bum or such a scrub. I'm like, he had a car, he had a job. He never asked them for anything. He was the ultimate friend. So on behalf of Cole, rhythm spoons. Okay. Period.
Cole kind of, well, when he got that apartment, he was still living with his mama. I mean,
I mean, but that wasn't bothering them,
Yeah, I guess they just
you
felt
know.
like they wasn't on. I don't. Well, they always got to have these shows where somebody plays like the kind of ditzy character, and that was just his character.
I suppose, but now
It was
Demarcus
really
said,
Tommy who didn't have no job, and we never knew. We never found out where he lived.
I'm so glad that you said that because that part was on my notes. And yes, ma'am, he had a job. And again, I don't know why y'all was trying to treat Tommy like that. Tommy had his own stuff. He always looked good. He also had a car. He never asked them for one penny. And folks was owing him money. He
Yeah,
had a job, y'all. Tisha Campbell did an interview one time and she was asked that. So it became a running joke because when they first said it, it was just because obviously the job itself was not identified. But they said Tommy in real life did not like the fact that his character did not appear to have a job, but the jokes kept coming,
yeah. I
so
mean,
they kept it. Yeah, they kept it in there anyway, even though he didn't like that.
Cole
So
didn't like a lot of stuff either, but I'm like, you can't have thin skin, and this is the '90s. Like, you can't. I feel
yeah,
like you can't have thin skin because at this point, like, dang on, there wouldn't have been no show.
yeah,
Be
that's true.
on a show
That's
like
true.
this. Like, if you're gonna be sensitive, then just don't even watch this show.
Because some of the stuff we laugh at in these shows now would probably not, they probably wouldn't do well today, even though they still funny, but it is what it
Yeah,
is. But no, Tisha Campbell said in a interview that it was mentioned in one episode.
he did mention it when Martin said, "Oh, I dropped you off at that building one time. It was all white with no windows." And he's like, "Yeah, I went across the street to the building. It's
No,
all
but
black with no
no, but
windows."
remember when him and Martin got asked by Miss Trinidad to come in and talk to the kids.
Yeah,
Well, it was only slightly, but it was revealed. He was a
I didn't
counselor.
hear him say what he did on that episode.
No. I think it was implied, but Tisha Campbell, she basically said he was a not camp counselor. He was a kids counselor, and like kind of like a case manager, like at a boys and girls club.
I would have rather not known, and I was perfectly fine with it just being a mystery. She's the reason why the show got canceled. She's the reason why the show ended anyway. So Tisha need a hush. Leave her
I
alone.
no wait. Wasn't there an SH
Yeah, but she
situation?
came back later on and said, she was marrying her husband, who she's not even with now. I ruined the
I
show.
know he was the raggedy one.
Yeah, so I feel like that was. So I don't. She need to stop talking. It was fine with us thinking he ain't had no job.
You know what, Shayla? Well,
It
this
was
is
fine
about
like it was.
we do trivia over here, so if you don't want the spoilers, I don't know what to tell you. She said she
Give him
loves
a job. I ain't never heard him say that, so I'm just gonna stick with what it was. He worked in a mystery building and he had no job. We didn't see where he lived. We didn't see nothing.
But we also did not see his need for anything either. He was balling somehow.
He was, but I mean, he didn't. But if it came down to him and Cole, we knew where Cole worked. He worked at the airport. We knew he lived with his mother. We see him try to get an apartment. Like Tommy was the one who was a mystery, the real mystery here.
That's all right though. But I feel like as long as if you're in my circle and you ain't, he clearly wasn't doing nothing illegal because
Yeah.
nobody came after him.
He
So
was an ordained minister in that one episode where he married Pam
and
for that green card.
and remember, and guess what else? Even though we may not have found out exactly where it was or what it was called, remember he had a coworker show up, Aquanetta.
Uh,
So
yeah.
you ain't got no, you ain't, you ain't got no job. You ain't got, I mean, how do you have coworkers? You don't have a job. So,
I
yeah.
feel like we knew he had a job, but it was just like, since we don't know what the job is, and you ain't got no job, like when we don't know what it is, so you ain't got no job. What's the secret?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I would love to rock each and every one of your worlds, but first I wanted to what? Oh, is this something Martin said? Child, please explain, Demarcus. I don't know what you're talking about. I agree. I agree. Martin was a
Read through some of these
jerk.
comments. They going fast. Hold up.
I know. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, Martin was a good friend to them. I agree.
I feel like he was there when they needed him, though. And he took accountability for taking it for granted, especially when he lost his job and he ain't had no job for months on end.
Not a scammer.
I
No.
feel like Tommy was a scammer as well. He already had secret little black books and stuff. Like, what are you doing? Why is everything such a secret?
Y'all are rude. So rude. Lynn was the Cole of girlfriends. What? I
Yeah,
don't
Cole
agree.
wasn't nowhere near on.
Mm-mm.
Cole wasn't he had a job. He was just a mama's boy, and
Yeah, Cole was not a mooch, you
yeah.
know. And
He
yeah,
only
no.
stayed at Martin's house that one time, and that one time was too many times. When he clipped that toenail.
Right. Yep. The same. I agree, Monique. He worked for maybe he did.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe he did. I told
He
y'all
was a scammer. He was good at it.
he worked for he worked for an agency similar to the Boys and Girls Club. He was a case manager.
I feel like she made that up because if they didn't say it on the show, then it don't count.
Well, that was the point, was that the show was always going to say he didn't have a job. Was that was the running joke, and they said that of course it made it funnier because
Yeah,
he hated it.
yeah.
So
They didn't
that's,
start off saying he had no job though. Like you said, initially they didn't say he had no job.
I think that first time when
Keisha
it
Campbell
came
trying to
out.
throw this stuff, girl. Please hush. If I didn't hear it on the show, then it don't count.
Okay, am I the only one who hated when Pam and Tommy dated? I wasn't feeling that. No, I mean
Yeah,
I liked it, but
I
they
like
were only good on paper, in my opinion.
That's actually more chemistry with Martin. I did like when they dated though. Because I was tired of Pam getting picked on. Oh, she can't have no man. Like, what are you talking about? Pam is fine. Like, let's not do Pam.
Exactly. That's
And
why I
then
was so
it was
glad.
funny having like a colorist undertone for me. Like,
Yeah,
oh, Gina's the good, attractive one, and Pam is like this scruffy scrub. Like, Pam looked good. I don't know what y'all talking about. I didn't
and
like
that's why I had such an issue with how hard he went in on Pam because to me it was always blurring those lines. I was
yeah,
like,
that was
but you got
funny.
the light skin, so called pretty. I said they are best friends in real life. Like that is they both out here because I'm just like ill.
Yeah.
I was just mad about it.
Right, 'cause I was like,
Yeah,
I like Pam a little bit better actually. So I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about, acting like
I
she's
agree.
a man.
Down to earth, she was
Yeah,
funny.
and I'm like,
I'm
Gina,
always watching
years
Lawrence. I mean Lawrence, Martin Lawrence.
old.
Sorry. Hey Lawrence, that's her name. Her name was Aquanetta. She was white too. Oh Lord, Martin was mean. Get to stepping. Thank you, the Lawrence report. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Dang, I'm trying to get past these comments. It's a whole lot of y'all. Okay. Y'all remember the King Beef character? Yes. All the characters that he played outside of Martin were hilarious.
Yeah, and they always made a little comeback.
Mm-hmm. See, Miss
Yeah,
Kira agrees. I agree as well. I love when Heavy D was a guest star. I love when Biggie was on there.
yeah, I love the Biggie episode. That was
Yeah,
funny.
because she was like, Gina!
I like that one, and I like the Jodeci episode. I mean, I really liked all the guest stars though, but the Jodeci one,
Yeah.
me with Hollywood was funny.
Hilarious. A mess. A mess. They used to have really good guest stars on there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I pretty much like all the guest stars.
She was. She
Yeah,
was. And she was catching them off guard too. I think a lot of the clips they were going back and forth with were ad libbed.
yeah, that's
And
what
you
made
could
it funny.
yep, and you could see where
I feel like they got along better because you can't really write that kind of chemistry.
mm-mm.
And when him and Gina tried to go back and forth, it was funny, but it was funnier when he did it with Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Gina got a little 1-2 every now and then with her big head getting stuck in the headboard and all that.
Gina was funny though. I mean,
Yeah,
hilarious. It's a
and
silly
then
person
the
in
ensemble
general.
cast was funny. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like one of my favorite shows of all time.
I agree. Mother Payne hated Gina and like Pam. I know. Remember that pass the peas. Remember
Um,
that one? That that's what's so
Get in there, slap them raggedy peas. That's my mom's favorite character. Though Mama Payne, when Mama Payne's bird was unalive. Mama Bird. I didn't like, and then the pastor. I mean, everybody had on there. He got some career started too. Tracy Morgan.
Mm-hmm. Don't remember. No. The kazoo with Tracy Morgan. What was it? Oh my gosh. It was just in my head and now I can't remember what it was. Remember that episode where he was playing that he had that kazoo attached to that saxophone?
Oh yeah. Oh, there she go. I talked her up.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna remember it at the end. I like when Pam did the Lollipop Kids. Yep. And the Magically Delicious one. That one had Mark what's his name? Martin laughing. He had to turn his head because he was
A lot of them you can tell. Like my favorite episode was when they had that little New Jack City when he lost the CD player, and when Tommy was laughing when he had the dogs. That's it.
had them all in black and everything. That mess. Oh, thank you. Yeah, pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces. That's what it was. That was funny.
Pick up, pick up the pieces. That's I was about to cuss. That mess was hilarious. Oh my gosh! And every day on National Kazoo Day, I always post that clip because it is hilarious.
Oh, I want to say, hey Tanya Mac. That's my mom.
Right. Oh, hey Tanya, Miss Tanya Mac, how you doing?
I just spoke about her with her favorite character with that episode. Not my Mama Bird. My Mama Bird unalived. Shout out to you, Mama Mac.
And then Hustle Marsalis. You know what used to crack me up about Hustle Man though? The Hustle Man scenes was why was Gina really into the conversations with him? She was like, for real, now do you use pork and bean juice for real? She's like, no, molasses. Oh, molasses. She was so serious. That was hilarious. And he going in for real. And they're like, why are you having this conversation with him? This is a mess. Bro, man.
On the 5th floor.
Oh, just a mess. A mess.
Martin me up on that Thanksgiving episode. Like, nah, bro, I'm here from the 5th floor eating all this Thanksgiving food.
Mm-hmm. And then that one Thanksgiving was that the same episode where he came down there and making a sandwich for Martin's mama. No, that was a different episode. No, yeah, because that one Thanksgiving, Gina invited Martin's other family. What's her name's his mama's brother and his stealing cousin. Oh my gosh, that one was funny too.
Or that one Thanksgiving episode where was it Gina who cooked and they cut into the turkey and the turkey started bleeding?
Mm-hmm. I think that's why that was the same one where the mama went away.
Well, she shouldn't have been cooking nothing after she snapped them raggedy peas.
Exactly. Oh wait, and then nobody bring up Jerome. I say Jerome.
Well, yeah.
I say Jerome.
But but all the characters that Martin played was funny. But I mean, Shanae is gonna be my favorite, of course.
That's true. Shanae too. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the one I didn't like. I didn't like the Roscoe. Ew. The one, the little kid, the snotty nose kid.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
No, sir.
Man, I never did like that one. Yeah, every now and then he was funny though.
Yeah, but one of my favorite episodes, not even so much the episodes my favorite, but the one scene, the one in the church with Lonnie Love.
Well, he was stealing mama's money.
Yes. But when he came in singing, that mess was freaking hilarious. I think I keep that clip. I think I got a clip of that in my phone just because it's so hilarious. The plumber, I usually skip that episode when the plumber passed away. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Nah, that one was funny.
I don't like it. Oh, did you miss me?
I didn't like. I felt bad when Shanae went on that date with Kid, and then he played her, and I was like, oh, not forever Shanae getting played.
I know. I know. That's just, I don't know. It makes you feel sorry for her, even though every other time she always had a stank attitude. But I like that episode where her and Laquita got into the women's league, and Gina and Pam was trying to get in.
Yeah, that was funny. My favorite episode with Shanae was when she was working in the beauty shop, and she was like, "You got to work on Myra's feet."
She's like, girl, what are you doing? And then she said, did you give Myra a perm? without the neutralizer. Girl, she was wired, ma'am. Oh, shout out to BB Drake. Oh my gosh. A mess. Okay, we gotta go past it. So what is your verdict for the Martin group?
No, I think they was real friends. They was real friends, in my opinion.
I mean, they were real friends, but I just felt like Pam and Martin were toxic.
I think there was an understanding. It would be one thing if Pam was like, "I don't like that, stop," and then he just kept doing it. But it was like they giving it to each other.
I'm just gonna let it go because I'm like,
colorist undertone I didn't like, but overall, them as a friend group, I think they were real friends.
yeah, they were real friends. Still, on behalf of Cole, Renham Spoons. So, moving on. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, the next group, the game. Now, we love us some Pooch Hall on Family Business New Orleans.
Did you blur the old and the new?
Huh?
Oh, because I see Lauren London and Jay Ellis in the back.
Oh, I just found this. I wish I could have blurred them because I'm not discussing them, child. I don't care.
They sneak in here in the back.
Put it in the back. So let's start with the man first, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, aka Jason Pitsy Pitts, Malik El DeBarge Wright, and Derwin Ding Dong Davis.
I mean, yeah, I guess they became real friends over time.
I feel like they were just colleagues.
I feel like, yeah, like they work together. Like y'all, they say, yeah, y'all colleagues, y'all have to talk. Even with the wags, like, okay, y'all, the wives and the girlfriends, so y'all, the real friend group, I feel like if maybe if it was like they were friends from this inception, maybe over time they became friends, but
I feel like since they were paid to compete, there was always going to be a level of frenemy-ness attached to them. Yeah. But I feel like they did look out for each other in their own toxic ways, and it was based on the game. Like, dude, you need to check this because this is what might happen. I feel like they still did take Derwin in, even though he was literally coming in to replace Jason. Yeah. But, it is what it is. And then the women, Tasha the Mac, Kelly Pitts, and Melanie Med-School Barnett.
Med-School was just so annoying, like the whole time. It just never let up. Like she's just irritating. But I mean, no, I don't. I feel like they were the same thing. Like, okay, we're our husbands, our son work together, so it's like we have to communicate to keep the men together. So.
Listen, Med-School only got cool with the wags once she got hazed endlessly and then finally got accepted by them.
But that's how it goes.
Right. And I feel like they were always going to bring her into the fold, but you got to learn.
Yeah.
And she was resisting the whole way.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That's interesting. Okay. They were co-workers, became social. I'll tell you,
I feel like it started off as co-workers and then eventually.
Yes. But I think that Kelly and Tasha were friends. However, I'm not a fan of the B's. Like, me and my friends don't play like that. I don't, I think the B word and the N word are reserved for offense. Like if I call you that, I mean to be offensive. Okay? They're meant for offense. So I'm not calling my friend a B. That's just me. We don't really roll like that. But in the way they used to fly them around, same thing with girlfriends. Yeah. When they got mad at each other. It's like, what? If you can't learn how to talk.
It depends on the friend group. Like if we have that type of established friend group, then I don't know. I guess I don't get like easily offended at things. It depends on the tone, who's saying it, how it's said, and like the trajectory of the friendship. But if you are saying it like in an offensive way, then I'm going to be offended. But if they had that understanding and I see them calling each other that, like, well, y'all, it's kind of like with the Martin and Pam thing. Like, well, they have an understanding. So who am I to get my feathers ruffled when clearly they have, like, this is how y'all friendship is. So
True.
that one, like, it's like, all right, that's what y'all call each other. That doesn't really bother me. I just felt like none of them were legitimate friends. I feel like they had to become friends over time. Even with Kelly and Tasha, like, yeah, well, y'all, well, her husband and your son, like, y'all gotta have a bond. You know, you want to keep the new girls in check, so y'all want to keep things as they are. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's it, Kiera. Like, they have y'all. I mean, it's an understanding here, and y'all cool. When med school wasn't with Derwin anymore, though, like, it's like, okay, at this point, there's a friendship because she's not a part of this anymore. When y'all are still communicating with her, so eventually they got there.
Okay, so but he resisted, and Melanie started that. Demarcus. So wait, D Movie Man says I'm hollering at y'all not acknowledging season 6. I don't acknowledge season 6 of the game at 7 or 8, and I don't acknowledge season 1 of A Different World because no, it was too much drama going on 6, 7, and 8. That's when they switched over networks on the game, and I did watch it. I watched it all. To be
It just,
fair,
when I think of the game, I don't think of that season or
me
those.
either. We got to have the OG seasons, the very beginning.
And I stopped watching. I didn't know they had that many seasons. After a while, I mean, it just it
Yeah,
ran its course for me.
I think it went 8, but it went really dark. It became a like more of a
Kind of like
drama.
Empire. Like one day I just turned it off and I just never turned it back on.
Yeah. So Malik introduced Derwin to Janae. Well, I mean that was okay. Him and
Yeah.
Melanie were broken up. It was fine.
I mean, you can introduce anybody to anybody. What Derwin chose to do, and once he met her, that's where.
Now, but there was a betrayal because remember when Tasha introduced Camille, I think her name was Camille, Stacey Dash's character, to
Mm,
Jason behind Kelly's back because she was mad that Kelly, when Tasha got fired from IMG or whatever it was called, Kelly didn't go with her. She stayed on. And so Tasha got mad at her and introduced Camille to Jason. And then Kelly hit her with a 1-2. No, just one, just knocked her out at the wedding, at Melanie and Derwin's wedding. I was like, oh Lord. Like the video, y'all. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, you have anything else? What do you think about them? I feel like for me, I feel like Tasha and Kelly are more like mentors to Melanie. I guess they did become friends at some point or whatever. And I did like how they did hold each other accountable though. They would call each other out on things all the time. Now, whether or not they did anything with that information, that was on them. But and I was gonna ask what the new game brought. Is it the same drama or whatever? But I don't know if I care that much. Do you
I can't
care?
even hardly remember the new one.
Yeah. I haven't seen what episode of the new one. The game rebit. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask if
Is it gonna
anybody.
keep on Paramount? That I didn't watch at all. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. So
The
I don't
one
know.
like London and jail is, and the old one. I feel like. I mean, when I think about sitcoms and friend groups, they don't really come to mind because I feel like they were coworkers who eventually they had to deal with each other because of the game.
Okay. So is that the verdict then that they were toxic?
I don't even know if it was toxic. I just feel like they were just colleagues, peers.
Okay. I'm gonna give them toxic though because even in when they did actually, participate in the friendship portion of it, I was just like, it just never seemed, I'm not gonna say it didn't seem genuine, but it always seemed like it was always based around football.
Yeah.
So it was whatever was best for the team and not what's best for each individual person.
Yeah, so they're not really, because if y'all are really friends, then you don't necessarily need, you're gonna have friendship outside of football. Which I mean, maybe they did eventually, but by then I stopped watching.
Mm-hmm. Same with me for Empire. I took a break from the game, and by the time I came back, Jason was breaking up with Chardonnay and trying to get Kelly back. I like that part. I mean, I
I feel like
thought
she
Jason
was
was a jerk.
forced.
Yeah, I liked him with Chardonnay though, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't mind. It was just too. I don't know. It felt forced. But
But
then
I'm
again,
not.
once I got the BT, everything felt forced.
Eh, yeah, even the I mean, even the background was different. It was just a whole
Yeah, just everything.
different vibe to the show. It's not that bad, she said, but on BET was sorry, not sorry.
I don't even know why I got the Paramount. Like, how many times are we gonna like revive this show? Just let it be.
Oh, the game reboot was canceled. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's what I said. Who all over there before I watched? That's all I was asking. I was like, I don't even know if I want to ask y'all the question. But okay, we can move on. Okay, we can move on. The next group is Moesha.
Toxic.
I agree. I view it now very differently as an adult, and we talking about Moesha, Kim, Niecy, Hakeem, and then sometimes Q. And I feel like there was always a frenemies group though, because I did not like the way that they treated Kim.
I didn't like the way they treated Kim when the show was on.
Right.
I never liked the way they treated Kim.
Yeah. It was, they were just doing too much. And she didn't do anything to warrant them talking about her like that.
And then it's funny because it's like the Parkers have a spinoff, and I actually like the Parkers better.
Same. That's I remember saying that. I think it was not last week. The first week was by the time Moesha had all that extra drama and going on or whatever, we had already moved on to.
Yeah, we didn't care anymore.
And Parkers is fun.
I did hate how it ended though, because then it was like, well, who's she pregnant by, and we just never found out.
I know. I talked about it on our cancellation show. We don't know who. We don't know if it was even her because it could have been her or Niecy or Alexis.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, ew.
So Moesha was just a toxic individual, and she was annoying. Like as much as I used to love her back in the day, everybody's like, "You like Brandy?" Now I'm like, she was just annoying all the way around. She's
Yep. They I just again I just can't get past how they treated Kim. Treating her like a sidekick when she had main character energy.
Right. The way that cheerleading episode, trash.
Yes.
And they always had to make up with their friends. Like that episode when what was that show used to come on MTV where you used to help your friend meet somebody famous? That episode. And I was like, well, Kim wanted to meet that famous country singer. And it was like y'all were like talking trash about each other then, or when Kim overheard when they was talking about it on her voicemail, they left a message on her answering machine. Like, dang on, why do y'all keep doing this with Kim?
Right. I could not stand it. When I was younger, I used to think same thing. I was like, oh, I loved Moesha, whatever. But as I got older, I'm like, ew, she was kind of a mean girl, and it just wasn't even cool.
And even with Hakeem, and it's like, okay, his family's having struggles, and he's always over here eating, but y'all got to keep calling him out about him coming over here to eat, like making him feel bad.
And Hakeem was a damn good friend,
right? And then she ended up dating him, like the nerve.
And then, but then Niecy, her toxic self, kissing Hakeem.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Niecy was a mean girl as well.
Niecy was. She was also a follower.
Yeah.
And that behavior in general, just thank you.
That episode with the Jeep got on my nerves. Like, girl, you got a new whatever Toyota Camry or whatever he was.
Whatever. Saturn. Remember he owned the Saturn dealership.
Oh yeah, it was Saturn. Oh Lord, Saturn ain't even around no more. I don't think. But I'm like, it was a nice new Saturn, and you want to get that old raggedy Jeep.
Exactly. I'm like, why would you want to struggle when you don't have to? That's
right. So ungrateful.
Very much so.
You know your dad works with Saturn. Like what?
You should have known off rip you was gonna get the Saturn. Right. You should have been like, Daddy, this is the kind I want.
Yeah, like just be glad you got a car.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I agree. Toxic. I thought their friendships were toxic.
Friendships was toxic. Her dating life was toxic. She was toxic.
Amen. But I'm gonna give them just a little bit of grace because they were kids. I mean, they were high school.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean, Thea was better than Moesha. I don't know if I'll say it was better, but I did love Thea, and a lot of the characters that were on Thea, which by the way was canceled way too soon, they came over to Moesha as well.
It's hard to compare because Thea wasn't on long enough, so you can't compare the two. Moesha was on way longer to make it like a fair comparison.
So if anybody who knows me, y'all know I love Brandy is my favorite singer. So I rocked with. I've always been a B rocker. Period. So I'm like, I rocked with Moesha, but Moesha did not sing. But Denisha Terrell was a songbird, and she was up there singing. As a matter of fact, when it got canceled, that's when her album dropped. So her very
That
first
worked
album.
out in her favor though.
Yeah, it did. The
And
night
the
did.
Moesha, I always liked the fact that Moesha couldn't sing. It was funny. And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when Brandy's on here, Brandy's really singing. It's like, oh, you look like Brandy. It was cute.
Yep, it was cute. I agree. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Oh wait, what did we say? Toxic for them?
Definitely. So even her daddy was toxic. Everybody was toxic. And then the way it went at the end when they threw in Ray J, like, y'all sure know how to ruin something. Oh my
I
gosh.
know the
The show.
whole thing.
Like,
Like
y'all done
throw it
threw
away.
him in there and ruined the show.
I agree. Even though I'm a big fan of Ray J's in terms of his acting. I think he's really good at it, but his character was just it was just a terrible
Every time he
character.
came in there, like I feel like every time because he's a part of something, then whatever it is gets shut down. We didn't need
Oh,
to throw Ray J in there.
oh.
Like,
Well, we didn't need
he
to throw
was
that
already
storyline in there
on
either.
there. She had him on there before. Like he can pop in there now, and he don't need to be a main character. Like, or he could have just
Right.
been a cousin that just moved in. We didn't have to make him Frank's son. Like, what is
Thank
this?
you. Thank you. That's why Cheryl Lee Ralph left because she said
Yeah,
that was
she
just
didn't
an
like that. That was
absolute no for her. So why would you take this man who's had these high morals this whole time and then take him down like this?
it was the same thing with like what you said with Girlfriends, where a sitcom turned drama.
Mm-hmm.
Just turned into a soap opera. And then it's like then Miles messing with the pharmaceuticals, like what are we doing and why are we doing it? Like it's too much going on.
I agree. His whole life is acting jobs. Don't you mean his whole life? Child. And DeMarcus, I see your comment, but I will not post it. Okay? Because
I am
ain't
tired.
nobody better than Brandy. Thank you and good night. You trying to play me.
I
This
don't
ain't
see
the
how you
way you
can say
find.
Monica over like when Brandy, if we're talking career wise in the 90s, especially like Brandy was that girl.
She really was. And still is.
Yeah, she still is. But
You
I
just
mean, the
drop
first
something
Black
new.
Cinderella, like the first Black cover girl, like come on now, like Brandy was doing her now. She had the 90s on the show.
Mm-hmm. I hate that the show itself though had a curse though on it. Several members.
Yeah, when everybody passing away, they couldn't even come back and try to have the cast gone.
I know. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is a little bit of a surprise, but hey, a different world. See,
Oh.
mm,
I
this
was just
one.
watching that the wedding episode. That's my favorite episode.
Which one?
You know the wedding episode.
Oh my god.
And then it was when he was talking about how he did those ad libs at the altar.
We talked about it last week, and Whitley settled. Good night.
She did.
She
She really
did. She
did.
settled.
I really didn't want her to do it. Where everybody was like, "Oh, I love wins." I was just like, I was with her mama, like, "Girl, wrong road."
Wrong. And I'm not saying that the senator was she should have married. I'm just saying she should not have married Dwayne. And I don't feel like I don't feel like she thrived with Dwayne. People can say whatever they want to, but before she had dreams outside of him working at Konnichiwa.
Well, this is also a time where people were like praising toxic struggle love, like toxicity was looked at as like the norm. Like, okay, well, he loves her. He didn't cherish her and appreciate her until she was at the altar about to marry somebody else.
Right. And you literally saw her the night before. You could have said something. You didn't.
Yeah. Baby, please. That's all everybody needed to hear. People switching up.
If it was me, that's all they would have heard because I'd have queued my big cousins to come and escort him out. Security.
Why is he in here?
And I did see the one of the groomsmen did try to keep him back, but then Ron was behind him though too.
She wanted him there.
Yes, clearly. So okay, we're talking a different world. So I mean, Monique says 70% true friendship.
Yeah.
So the first ones I had up right here was Ron and Dwayne. I've always wanted to talk about Ron and Dwayne because I feel like we always talk about the girlfriends' friendships. We don't do a lot of men's friendship stuff.
That's true.
And to be honest, Dwayne was a terrible friend. You know, he was a
Yeah.
terrible husband. He was a
Oh,
terrible
he was
kid,
terrible all the way around.
all the way around.
Like he
No,
was all the way around terrible.
the way he used to talk to Ron was like, why are you talking to him like he's your servant? And even then, you don't talk to even your servants that way. It was just so
Yeah. Yeah.
nasty. He acted as though he was better than uh Ron, and Ron was just loyal to the end.
Yeah. This one's tough because it kind of gives me that same feel with like Moesha, like even though they were in college, where they were still young. Like this is a young friendship. So I feel like, all right, well, they're young, so they're going to have problems.
Mhm.
Versus like living single and girlfriends, like, okay, well, y'all are grown, established with careers, and y'all are just being toxic by choice. They were still trying to like find their way.
Yeah. I just feel like even down to the end, I feel like Dwayne really could have handled the situation with
Yeah.
the game that he created. Yes, he did do all the work in it, but I feel like Ron did give him the idea. And because they were best friends all these years, what would have been the harm in him being your business partner or
When
having a
money gets
slice?
involved, it that changes dynamics and situations.
True,
Money's on the line.
but you also but you could have had him as like your founding
Yeah.
member. I mean, I just feel like there was a different way he could have approached the situation, and not. I hate that their friendship ended like it did because of
Right.
money.
But I mean, I guess it's because it's real life. Because that really, when money get involved, people stop talking to their family members over money or anybody over some money. So yeah. But if he was a horrible husband, then how good of a friend are you going to be? Like, you're a trash husband, so how are you going to be a good friend?
Right. Okay, I think they had them as a struggle as the younger couple to drive home the point that people have a lot of dreams in college until they get in the real world and have to support themselves. But
Uh,
the only reason, okay, but to me, they took her out of an environment where she would have been with the who's who with
mm-hmm.
Byron to
Yeah.
go and struggle.
Right. You
She
have to
was a
struggle.
substitute teacher wearing the exact same shirt, blouse, and skirt every single day. They literally had nothing.
Yeah. She didn't. She signed up for. And I mean, yeah, people do. I guess because she chose love over like stability, which was foolish, and her mama raised her better than that.
And that's not at all the Whitley we met.
Yeah, it's just she got. Well, I guess it shows like you being with the wrong person, even though everybody thought it was the right move. You being with the wrong person will change the trajectory of your life, like wrong road. Like it will have you going down that dark path. I mean, it's real, it's realistic, but she didn't have. Everybody doesn't have to be in some struggle love. Everybody doesn't have to end with some toxic mess. Like some people can just have like, can we just have some happy endings when it comes to our
Right.
black love stories?
I agree. I totally agree. Ron was loyal because he wanted Whitley and Freddie after they liked Dwayne. I mean, I don't agree with that, but
Why do you think that, Demarcus?
yeah, why you think that?
Like what?
Because Ron was always loyal, especially to Dwayne. That was his. And what's crazy was when Dwayne tried to accuse Ron of being jealous of him, I was like, for what? Ron literally was the rich kid that came to Hillman. Like his daddy owned several car dealerships. He didn't want for nothing. He wasn't a struggling college student. He was out there just partying. You know,
Yeah.
now could he have been more serious in his studies? Yes.
Did he
But he
need
cared very deeply about the people that he was around because he went to bat for Freddie, Kim, Whitley, Dwayne, any of them.
well, if he's
Gina,
friends with Dwayne and Dwayne's talking to him like that, then it's like, is a part of it true? Do you have some kind of, because you can have money and not want for nothing and still have a sense of jealousy. Like, is there some undertone that you're even allowing this to happen? Because why are you in this friendship that you don't need to be in?
right, right. But he showed unconditional love to Dwayne, and it just was not the same. Dwayne was calling him all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, oh no. See,
Yeah.
even Jaleesa had to check him.
Yeah, when
Like
you think
that's
he
your
like,
best friend.
like Dwayne Wayne, but he was just trash.
I very much so, but I didn't see that then because
Yeah.
at the time we were like, "Ooh, just like he fine, he got the glasses and whatever." I want to meet Dwayne Wade, but
That's
now
what
as an
I
adult,
thought
I'm
he
like,
was jealous of him. Like,
"Yeah,
okay, I'm giving main character energy and you want to be around me, like, so you must be jealous. And
right, sir, no." They got robbed after the purchasing that art piece was a big blow to them financially. True,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like they don't like she got a whole wealthy family.
Right.
Like
I feel like they were going to struggle financially regardless because she made the wrong choice.
I agree.
Like at some point there was just going to be some type of struggle and strife.
I agree. He was saying that Ron wasn't loyal. I don't agree, but okay. Let's talk about Freddie and Kim and Whitley.
I was gonna say the way you, the look on your face. Like, what are you thinking?
I mean, I feel like Kim and Freddie. Didn't Freddie break the girl code?
Yeah, I guess when I look at it overall, this is giving me friends of convenience because we go to school together. Like I think about it, like, are y'all? I mean, is this a real friendship?
I
Really, Daddy wouldn't have cut her off financially, though.
and especially I'm about to say if she didn't want
She made the right decisions, but
yeah.
that was
Anyway,
her poor choices got her cut off with a
I
man who
agree.
can provide.
I do feel like I mentioned last week. So I liked Ron with Freddie, and I feel like the love story we never talk enough about is when Kim and Spencer got together. So I don't really care that she did, that Freddie did break the girl code because ultimately I didn't care for Kim and Ron together. That was just
Well, I would say because did she break the girl code because didn't she have him first in season 1?
I don't remember. It's
I
blurry.
don't really remember season 1, but somebody was saying that she had him first. So then it's like, well, if I had you first, am I
Well,
really?
no, neither one of them were in season 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
So season 2, though, I mean, so
I
maybe
mean,
you're
we
right.
needed season 1 to get to season 2, but season 1 is just not really memorable.
In fact, I was saying y'all that I forgot who it was. Is it Hulu? Somebody had a Philo. I think they have a different world on right now, but they don't they don't have the
No,
first season on there. They only got
I think
season.
it was about to get cut off. Well, with that whole Denise situation.
Lord have mercy. Okay, I still ain't forgot about how the writers played Kim regarding their relationship with Freddie's cousin Matthew. It was a no for me, dog. Me too. I
Pink
agree.
slip.
I did not like it. I did not like it. Ron should have been with Demarcus. We talked about this last week.
DeMarcus be trolling.
Only the Ron of the first season could be with Millie. He was too much for Millie after that because he became the ladies' man up in
Yeah.
there. I think you're right. I think it is Netflix. I think you're right.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it is. But whichever one I saw the other day, I was like, dang, they ain't even got the first season on here. Whitley was not really any of the girls' true friends. Now, how Ron and Kim broke up so he could get with Freddie is confusing. See, I agree. I think that again, Whitley didn't get enough credit for evolving, and we didn't like her that first season. She was a snob. She would talk to people all kinds of crazy or whatever. But eventually, over time, I felt like she became a really decent friend. Especially to Kim. Her and Kim. For me, they were the true friendship. Kim and Whitley.
Yeah.
But Kim and Freddie.
Oh, it's on here on Netflix anyway. Season 1 is on there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not it then. There was something else I saw that it was a different streaming app,
And
and they
nobody.
have it on there, and it's just season 2 through 6, I think it is.
Damn, on season 1 got 22 episodes. Sheesh.
That's back in the day. We used to get real seasons.
He's gonna be on for a whole year. Like, sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
Now you be like 10 episodes. That's too many.
So I know Cree is the voice actor for a few characters on BT. Yes, she is. Listen, I'm a voiceover. I do have voiceovers myself, so I have always been a fan of Cree Summers. She has so many voice acting credits. She plays boys, girls, doesn't matter. Susie Carmichael. What's the little boy in Proud Family? All sorts of characters. She is unmatched in my opinion. She is the goat of the VO
I
sector
don't
in
got
my
BT
opinion.
Plus, so I don't know. I don't know if Lil Kev is funny or not.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, is it on yet?
Hmm.
I've been seeing the announcements of the people who are going to be playing the characters, but I don't know if
My main person that comes to mind when I think about voiceover or the voice actors is Regina Hall. Not Regina
oh
Hall. Regina
King. She plays
Regina
both
King.
boys.
Boondocks.
She played both of them.
Mm. She did a good
Yep,
job.
I told you 2 through 6. That's the Philo. Yep. Okay, true. She did evolve over time. Okay, good point on Kim. Whitley. But yeah, Kim and Freddie were supposed to be besties. I agree, and I thought they were a little fuzzy. Colonel Taylor and Jaleesa relationship was trash also. I mean, I don't know if it was trash, but I don't know if it was appropriate for them. I don't know. I didn't care that much. They were cute, but it is what it is. See, I told y'all didn't have season 1. Oh my gosh. Little Kevin's not out yet.
I mean, we don't need season 1. It's okay.
Okay. But I love seeing people working, so especially black folks. So I'm like, I ain't mad at them. Please do. But I'm sorry, not Lil Kim, Jesus. Kim and Whitley definitely were real friends. Whitley was heated and started clowning when her mom kept being condescending and rude towards Kim or Carol, Kiki, and Kim. Yep.
Yeah.
Especially then they became sorority sisters too, so they had a
Oh yeah.
now. So I think it airs this week. She talking about Lil Kev.
Yeah.
Shazza and Ron were no different. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, they were both playboys. So
Yeah.
yes, indeed. And yeah,
Overall, way a real friend group. I think I don't know if it's toxic.
toxic. I agree. Kim and Whitley is the only one I'm gonna pull out as the true friends. The other ones I felt were all toxic.
Over time. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's giving real, like real college.
real college.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. So then now the next one I have are all honorable mentions, and we just go through them quickly. My honorable mentions for true friends are Marcus and Mo from Smart Guy. They were true friends to the end, and together they are TV magic, in my opinion. They have been friends since they were like 13 years old or something like in real life.
Oh,
So,
okay. So yeah, so it's like y'all gonna have that dynamic.
mm-hmm. And they're always so super funny. If you go back and watch Smart Guy, it is really, really funny. And the two of them together are they a hoot for real. They really are.
Yeah.
So what you talking about, DeMarcus? Remember Jaleesa was married to Lamar? Yes, she was. That was her first husband, and it did not work out, and rightfully so. She was too young. The second one is What's Happening Group. Definitely true friends. What
Yeah.
you
I'm gonna say true friends.
definitely true friends. They were always there for each other. I mean,
I
that,
was
but you
wondering,
know
do they
what?
even have any controversy?
They did. They did. But one thing I will say, and again, it might have been because of just the times.
Yeah.
It was the 70s as well. But
Yeah.
like all the fat jokes.
Yeah, that's why I guess maybe I didn't know because in the
Mm-mm.
time that was normal, but yeah,
Yeah, at the time it was, and I'm like, what?
yeah, we couldn't get away with it today.
No. Because, I mean, it was just, I'm like thinking it's still your friend, and the skinny
Yeah.
jokes don't hit the same as the fat jokes.
No, it
But it's
don't.
can be all considered body shaming. So,
Yeah, I
okay.
think you just don't know any better. Then you just now that we know better, don't you talk to me like that?
Right, exactly. I don't know if you spoke about this earlier, but I like how the friends rallied around the young lady that was assaulted by her. Ooh, that
Ooh.
time when Jada was on. Yes, when
Yeah,
Gina dealt with the DV situation.
Yeah, we ain't
Yes.
talking about that. It's a little
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep, I like that as well. But I think when it came down to times of real need, they all came for helped each other out. Because remember that episode, the Aunt Jemima episode, that Kim despised the whole Mammy situation because when she was a kid, she was mistaken as Mammy for like a Halloween costume or something like that, whatever. And for her, it was a trauma. But
Right.
even the way they rallied around her as well, and trying to help her to be comfortable with it. Mr. Gaines, he was always there with some wisdom.
They did
And
a good job at that though when it came to like racial injustice and issues like just black issues and black things like that. Like I feel like that they VV
mm,
situations, I feel like they did a good job at like really putting shining light on that and not making
yeah,
like light of the situation.
yep, they did a lot of. They did a really good job shining a light on a lot of issues that came about in the '90s,
Yeah,
the
like I was
early
like,
'90s.
that's a lot of that's. I mean, I guess that's why I was good because it was so realistic. It's really
Hmm. Yep. I would have had less of an issue. Oh, it's moving. Good lord. Um, with the Colonel and Delisa, had the writers not worked her personality. I agree with that. So that
yeah.
she ended up becoming some docile and whiny housewife. I totally agree. Walter would never. Oh, 100%. Because, and I was sad when Walter left because he was good for the show overall. For everybody, he was like the Mr. Gaines. He was a good addition to Mr. Gaines. It's kind of like the sidekick type. Like he was the assist, in my opinion. So what's happening? Yes, they put their nickels and dimes together to buy food.
Yeah, that's true friendship right there.
Uh, yes, Big Shirley came from what's happening in Martin. Yes, and Martin talked about how um, Shirley Hemphill, who played Shirley,
Mm.
actually gave him money when he was flat broke. And
Mm.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you brought the LA riots episode. Yes, you know what? I cannot stand this episode because it just further gave me reason why I hated that they got married because this was their episode, their honeymoon episode. They had a terrible
Yeah.
honeymoon. This is what happened to them. You
Yeah.
know?
Should have never gotten married in the first place. Cause you touched on that when you mentioned the Parkers. Last time it's like you get married off of
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's paper, whether you come in after the fact and here you are getting married, please.
Here you go, getting married. They were the first couple I talked about. The Parkers was the second one I talked about last week. So okay, I'm not sure if y'all said this yet, but worst friendships is Moesha. We didn't get to okay, we did talk about Moesha, especially when she and Niecy Stayed Dog and came out. Yes, we talked
Yeah.
about that. And
But
her
we said
everything
Moesha was
she
just trash all the way around.
Yep, totally. Yep. We talked about it. Walter was an all around good character. He was. He absolutely was. Did the Jeffersons and Willis have a true friendship or was it toxic? They were toxic as
Yeah, I was like, friendship. I didn't think that was a friendship.
hell at all. Maybe Louise and Helen, but certainly not
You know
Tom
what I'm
and Rick.
saying? No, they didn't come to mind with friendship for me.
Okay, so now I got a long list of honorable mentions for frenemies. I don't have a picture for this one because we already talked about it, but it is Max and Regine from Living Single.
Yeah, they tolerated each other.
Yes, but you know what? The reason why I said they were frenemies because they still were considered friends because, like, they still had each other's back.
Yeah.
But they talked to each other all crazy, but they did have each other's back. Um, and then the next one is Tony and Maya from Girlfriends.
They eventually did like have a friendship though.
I mean,
Even though
they
she
did have to
only
get
couldn't
there.
say Jabari's name, but you know.
They had to get there because
Yeah, it was a slow burn to get there.
yes, Martin was in What's Happening Now. Yes, it was he. That was his start. He worked in the diner with Shirley.
I
And the
wonder
next
why when
one,
they had Big Shirley, being Cole's girlfriend on that one episode, and we saw her, and then after that we didn't see her no more. We just saw big arms. Like Martin, what's going on?
we saw her face.
We yeah, remember that one episode when Cole took Big Shirley, like they was coming out from the back when I think Cole was throwing a house party or something at Martin's apartment, and he had all his friends and coworkers over, and he was saying it was his place. I think it was when Cole was staying with them, and he came out the back with Shirley. We saw Shirley, and then after that, we didn't see Big Shirley no more.
Oh, okay. I only remember us seeing like
I'm like, she wasn't all that big. Then all of a sudden, we just saw some arms.
and then she had a deep voice too. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, Big Shirley didn't look like that.
I know. I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't remember. We talked about this one as well. Pam and Martin being toxic enemies. Y'all said that they was a friendship, but I feel like they was toxic.
I mean, it was toxic. But I was just saying, like, when we're talking about the friend group overall, like the whole cast, the cast itself are like true friends. But yeah, Martin and Pam toxic.
Yes, me too, Candy, because I love a backstory. I love a backstory, period. I love to hear the stories about what's going on with people. Huh?
I said, I miss Candy's comment. What'd she say?
Oh, okay. She likes when actors go back and shine a light. It's moving. On their fellow castmates and tell how they helped them out financially. Yeah. I just like that we hear backstories because you get to hear like real things about real people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And they showed her first time, then I guess she got bigger, so they played her side. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is Mary and Sandra.
Okay. I like 227.
Me too.
I like they were real friends.
I feel like they were also the ones that had to get there because she certainly was not their friend at first.
Right.
And I think Rose was kind of their bridge because everybody liked Rose. So, but Mary was very clear how she did not care for Sandra like that. And then over time,
they
became friends.
Well, do you like it better when the show starts off and it's like we're walking into an already established friend group, or when it's like it has to grow into a friend group?
I mean, I like both. It just depends on whichever one is, I guess, is more appropriate or what a storyline is surrounding.
Yeah,
but I like them both. I love to see people involved though over time because that's how we get with characters. Period. Like we might start off not liking them, and then we're like, oh, okay, now I get them. You get to know more about them. You're like, oh, okay, I can understand where they're coming from now. So that's where I remember the arms. Yes, they tried to play her like that. And red nails. So then the next one is Willona and James.
Toxic.
I feel like they were the Martin and the Pam.
They were Martin and Pam before Martin. They walked so Martin and Pam could run.
Yes. But again, I feel the same way I said last time. I don't feel like Willona ever started it. And the stuff that she said back to James was things she said back to him. He was always calling her a gossip, and even though he was listening to the gossip,
right?
But he would call her a gossip, Rona Barrett of the projects, and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what's your family friend? Literally, she takes care of y'all kids. Like, what is going on? Let's see. Okay, the next one.
Really friends with Florida, so it's like
yes. And these two ladies, who are also my sorority sisters, were really good friends in real life as well. R.I.P. to both of them. And of course, our Thelma there is our Aunt Nene now on the Family Business and in New Orleans. Shout out to her.
Oh, I'm glad she's working again.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so the next one. Penny Proud and La Cienega Boulevardes.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting to see them on the list, but
oh my gosh, they were a toxic group.
No, they were toxic.
Very much so. But I'm gonna give them some grace because they were grade school. I mean, not junior high kids. I think.
Yeah. So they So, well, that's when their big feet moved across the street. They're the whole friend group.
Yeah, and La Cienega, she was just so rude and mean. And but I'm like, why were you so nasty to them? But you still continue to hang out with them though.
Right.
Like they were your friends, so because she didn't have no other friends, that's why.
Yeah, it was her and Penny that had that beef.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Penny and La Cienega. Oh wait. So I said Walona and Bookman. Booger. He was like Bookman,
Penny
Booger,
on
Booger.
it, though. Good times. It wasn't right when James left.
It wasn't. It wasn't. They tried, but
I don't know. I stopped watching after that. It just wasn't good no more.
well, the one season she left, Esther Roll left, and then they brought her back, and for the final season, and it was
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit when Thelma got married, when she was gonna marry the football player, and I'm like, you bad luck. How he end up being in the projects with y'all?
right.
Just when you thought they was about to, I'm like, y'all, every time I think they about to make it out the projects.
Exactly. And here they go. Something else happened. Lord Jesus. Jesus. Marcus, Demarcus, I'm not going there with you. Okay, so that's funny because I was just watching an episode of Girlfriends when William met Bernadette and genuinely kept calling her Thelma and asking her about
Oh
Florida.
yeah. And she's like, it's a character. I'm not really Thelma.
Exactly. She was about to end that date too. Like, you know what?
Oh my God, it's a character.
And he was looking like a stalker sitting there in the date. I'm like, you own the date with her, try to get to know her.
William has some stalker tendencies though, because he stalked Jill Scott and he stalked Yvonne when he was about to marry her.
I agree. I didn't even think about that. But now that you say it out loud, you're right.
He just he's in him.
You're right. Okay, well, Lona and James were like George and Helen. Yep. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, actually, no. I mean, kind of. But like George and Florence was it.
Yeah.
That was really that's another Sam and Martin right there. That is crazy. They used to really get
frenemies, like y'all hate each other.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Girl, you can watch it anytime you want. It is on here. It's out here and on here. It's so good. And yep, Jill Scott was in there. She had her character.
Yeah, I didn't like it. So homely. So
I agree.
It didn't hit for me. And she stayed too long. She's the reason why Joan and William got together.
Mm-hmm. Over some mess. Some psychic mess.
You really love Joan. Like, maybe he does, but they shouldn't be together.
Same. And here's my last one, toxic frenemies.
This is not no frenemies. They're enemies.
Ooh, Esther and Fred Sanford.
Esther was giving us no. This wasn't no Martin and Pam. This like I was like, damn, you hurt my feelings with your words.
And you know what's crazy? In real life, they were very good friends.
Yeah, they were really good friends. That's why they was able to play off each other like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I stay friends after that. Like the way you talked about me on set, I don't.
Exactly. I have to get you with a 1-2 punch at the end of the show.
Like, read the show from real life. Like,
oh my God.
She was a baddie back in the day, though. I was like, okay, on like that.
Yes. They were really good friends, y'all. Though he's the one who got her that job. And they continue. He was a really big advocate for for female comics because obviously, there's a glass ceiling and all that stuff, whatever. So he was a big catalyst in getting her out there. Just like who was the other one? Oh, Sherman Hensley or George Jefferson. He was also a very big advocate for other actors and thespians and stuff like that, whatever. They said he had a really big heart, super good friend and everything. And it's so funny that they play these like very harsh characters, but in real life, they're like really super nice guys,
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
I mean, which is probably because they're real friends and they really are comedians. I'm like the chemistry with them two going off each other. Like this had to be straight ad libs. The way y'all coming back so quick like this, like, like sheesh.
I couldn't imagine doing that to my friend though. Be like, what?
Like, you know,
No.
it's a show. I guess that's why we're not actors.
I get well, I consider myself an actress, but
I mean, that's what you do. But you do. You
I
just
got a
follow
little
the
something.
thread,
I got a
right?
little something
Yeah.
on YouTube. A little something on
That's right.
YouTube. But I didn't play a comedic character though. I
Because
had
I
a
was gonna say,
serious.
because you're doing them behind the scenes, kind of. Would you be willing to like step out in the front and take on the acting role, like on a sitcom or even on a
I totally would. No, but I have a couple of web series that's here on YouTube. I play a serious character, and so
Don't
you
keep
know
it a secret. Tell us.
they're Tubi worthy for real.
Okay.
They're
Listen,
for real.
as much as they
Um,
got on Tubi, like, listen, I know they can put this on there.
yeah, actually it's a really good series, and the writing was I felt like it was really good. But we're working with a limited budget, but it still came out really well. And we
Right.
did 3 web series and a movie. The movie is not on YouTube, but it's a part of the 4-part series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool story though. It's a horror, interesting thriller slash horror.
Uh,
Um, oh
um,
well, let me not say that because I don't know if I would classify because I'm not a horror watcher myself.
oof.
I would, but there is some blood, so I would say
Like a
definitely
gory.
thriller, definitely drama, and
You got to
uh,
put once we're done, you got to put everything in the description.
okay,
That
okay, yeah, it's called that is the truest thing ever. I don't even know what to do with myself sometimes. I've made jewelry, I've modeled, I sing, I do voiceovers, acting, anything creative.
I was about to say,
I've done it.
jack of all trades. People wish they could do all that.
Yeah, radio, all of it.
I could definitely
But
see you on radio. I think that'd be a good
it's
thing.
funny. This is why y'all have no idea. So I really appreciate y'all being here. I have wanted to bring this series to YouTube for so long. And for it to finally be here, I just truly appreciate y'all coming in here. I love that y'all love Black sitcoms just like me. Because sometimes I'm like, the world we live in is such a daunting place. Sometimes I'm like, we have got to find ways to be able to laugh and have some joy. And what brings me joy is the nostalgia of Black
Yeah.
sitcoms and stuff like that we can absolutely laugh at. And I don't care what people say about it right now. The shit was funny and it's
Mhm.
still funny today. You
And I'm
know,
glad they're putting them back out there where we can easily access them, and the next generation can watch these and hopefully have
right,
the same appreciation that we had.
right, right. I appreciate y'all.
And
Thank
I mean,
y'all.
even with I don't know if you even had Insecure on the list, but with Issa Rae, so excuse me, they're like she started off on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I try, y'all try. Thank you. Thank y'all. I'm just coming out of I'm shy. I'm just playing. I'm really not, but I think we don't always, tell about the stuff that we're working on, but yeah. So it's called so somebody did ask, it's on a web I'm sorry, the page, I'm sorry, the YouTube page is called Primate Vision. It's Prime, the number 8 and Vision. And I think it's all one word. And you can go to the web series. The first one is called, oh my gosh, what is the first one? Mr. Nice. The first one is Mr. Nice. The second one is Kiss of Death. And the third one is Final Breath. And you'll see all the characters. And it's a really super good story. Um, I mean, you get some context if you watch the movie. The movie will be number 2, but you don't need the movie in order to watch the other parts of the episode. So,
Okay.
yeah, yep, ASMR too. Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate y'all. So, do you have any last thoughts about any of our true friendships slash toxic frenemies?
Well, since I brought up Insecure, what do you think about Miley and Issa?
feel like as they evolved, they became more and more toxic.
Yeah. But then at the end, it kind of wrapped it up and it was like, oh.
Yeah, but
But
I
it was
almost
a toxic mess at some
yeah,
point.
they almost reminded me because women didn't wasn't Molly the one that got married?
Issa was.
Oh,
Issa married
oh, she
Lawrence.
was. She married Lawrence. See, I never liked Lawrence.
Molly
So,
did mar- Molly got married too. She got a guy in like the last couple of episodes though, her coworker.
oh, okay. Ooh, I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't like the way how I felt like they were always. I didn't feel like Molly was wrong in the things that she said to Issa, but
Yeah,
she didn't have to say it like that all the time. And then also, I think people have the right to say, let me step back and look at this relationship and see how you're affecting me. It's okay if you tell the people, you know what, I ain't got the bandwidth to hear all your freaking problems today. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Just stand back and not just vomit all over me with your stuff, you know?
I went back
And
and rewatched the first season, the first couple episodes of the first season. I'm like, Issa really was self-absorbed and selfish, and Molly. It looked like Molly was a villain. When it was like, no, Issa really is the one who's acting entitled. Molly
I,
just came off like she thought she was better, but I'd be tired of footing the bill for my friend all the time too.
yep, same. You know, and I feel like, dang, why they make it like she was the one that was wrong? But yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, were Phyllis and Big Diddy from Having Half Frenemies out? Oh, okay, I forgot to. I don't know why I didn't think of them for the list, but they stayed having me hollering, especially on Mother's Day episodes with the impromptu singing and performances. They were definitely
Yeah, they weren't. I don't know if I would say they were friends or toxic frenemies. They were just two
family.
two ex-wife and a wife that got to share the same.
But they were family though. Like they had to operate as family members. And I'm like, they were funny to me.
Kinda, because in real life, like our kids are grown. Like, do I really gotta talk to you so much? Like, I really don't.
Well, but in this case, though, in this case, I loved how Phyllis was there though, because Mona did not stick up for herself, and her mama was the advocate
Yeah, they need
when it came down to that relationship with their
a great
dad.
job. I'm like, dang, oh, they really do look like mother and daughter.
They do. They do. They do. Thank you, Demarcus.
Thank you, Demarcus.
Thank you. Yep, that's
Yeah,
true.
list of linger.
That is true. And then they were screaming it by the time, they were letting it out.
Yeah.
You're right.
Am I watching Raising Canaan? No, I don't watch Raising Canaan. I told you only power I watched was OG Power. All the others, because Raising Canaan is like kind of based loosely off of 50 Cent. I don't really fool with him. I'm waiting for BMF to come back. I guess we'll get one last season.
I didn't get into any of those. I think I saw the original Power maybe a few episodes, and that's about it. Like I know who the characters are, but I don't know anything about the storylines anymore.
Yeah,
Then
all these spinoffs.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all these spinoff. We could have threw them in the friend of me group if you watched the OG Power. we could have thrown them in there.
Well, thank you for coming, Sharina. We appreciate you. So, Shayna, tell us what you have going on your channels.
Sorry, I've been having a coughing fit for the last 5 minutes. But
Water.
I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything on this channel this week because now we're in March, so in April I can try to reapply and see about getting my main channel remonetized. So we shall see. Fingers crossed. I got to do Ready to Love. I might do Your Fiance over there. Maybe I'll see. I'll try to do something over here just to do something. But on my main channel, I plan on doing Ready to Love, Married to Medicine, definitely, and maybe Family or Fiance. And I was going to try to get back into Sisters, but I'm like 5 episodes behind, and I don't know what's going on. And it just Sisters the Tyler Perry shows just get a little exhausting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Beauty and the Black is coming back on, so maybe I'll just focus on that instead.
Yes, Thursday. We back on Thursday.
Drop all 8 episodes, and it's just a lot when you're trying to review it. So we're gonna have to break it up.
I agree because
I think we can't do episode by episode. We need to do like 4 and 4 or something. That would be too much.
I don't know. My group does. We did every individual one.
Yeah,
I
I
did
was
them.
on a
I
couple
did them
times.
two at a time. My personal videos, I did them two at a time.
Yeah.
Because
I,
they too much.
I was on episode 4, and it's like, dang, this came out like 2 months ago. Let's wrap this up. Let's do two.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot that goes on in every episode too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, Demarcus, you just kept on reminding us that it is coming out on Thursday. I'm like, oh, I am not ready yet. I'm trying to get myself together. I'm coming off of my birthday, so I'm like, I'm behind on my content. However, I am still doing the Family Business season 5 on Tuesdays because it drops on BET at 10 p.m. Eastern. So I do it right after that. And then also tonight at 7:15, if you got time, please come on over to back over to us. And I'll be joining EJ the TV Junkie. We're talking about the Family Business New Orleans. This is the first season, but this is episode 7. Next week is the final episode of the finale. And child, but this episode was really, really good. So join us for that. Now I'm trying to do some recaps for Beyond the Gates because I feel like it's fabulous, but I haven't got a chance to
Gotta
watch
watch
it yet.
it. I
Mm-mm-mm. I was gonna try to do it daily, but I'm like, what am I doing? I don't think I'm gonna.
Because
I'm not gonna be able to do it.
that's a new soap.
Yes,
I'm
black,
trying.
black led, black cast, black writers, all of that.
What channel does that come on?
CBS.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's the Paramount Plus app too, but I see it on CBS. So
Oh
Miss
wait,
Pierce said that ROHA is coming back. Atlanta is coming back too. I'm like,
I'm
Lord,
gonna do Atlanta.
I'm not ready. I'm not
Scroll back
ready.
up to D Movie Man. He left you a comment.
I'm pulling up right now. I really enjoyed this conversation. Just subscribe to you, Alicia. Thank you. Can't wait to
Yay.
see what you and Shayna have coming up next. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for joining us.
He does great movie reviews as well. So I think you'll like it. You'll like it over there.
Okay,
Because
I subscribed to him earlier today too.
oh, okay. So y'all
Mm-hmm.
time. And Letitia's at 104. Can we please run her subs up if y'all catching the replay? Like she's trying
Oh
to get to
yeah.
500. So let's run it up. It's worth hitting the like and a subscribe.
And Candy and Monique, I have the comments up for replay. Last time, I don't know what I was doing last time. Somehow I didn't have them cut on, but they're cut on now, so they'll be on there for the replay as well. But I appreciate y'all joining us today. Thank you, Candy. Thank you so much, everybody out here in the chat with so many of y'all. Sharina D, Movie Man, Candy Love, Sharina, Demarcus, Monique, Miss Kira. Help me out. Who else? We gotta scroll way back. I'm like, good Lord, y'all was on here.
Oh, Tanya Mac was in here.
Tanya Mac, Miss Tanya Mac,
I think BKJ stopped by.
JKJ. Okay, where is Black Girls Getting Their
Like,
Shift
getting their shit
Together? The
together.
Lawrence Report.
Shout out to Lawrence.
Yes, thank y'all so much for showing up and
Stop
showing
by.
out today. Again, this is a weekly segment. This is Black Sitcom Spotlight to the Rewind the Light, Black Sitcom Spotlight. And I don't know, y'all let me know how did this work? Was this time better as opposed to the 11 o'clock? Although we did have plenty of people that's there at 11 o'clock. I know you go to church though,
Yeah,
Shayna.
I was saying 11 o'clock. I'll be praising the Lord and Savior.
Yes.
I gotta still watch last week because last week you did the weddings, so I'm gonna
Yes.
because I was like, now I had something to say about that.
Please do, because that one was I was having a time. We were having a good time on the wedding ones, whatever, because it's so funny. It's more people I'm learning that's actually agreeing with the settling part. But when I did this show back in Instagram back in 2022, I think it was, child, people was like, "Are you serious? That was love. That's the best scene ever." And I'm like, I was not impressed because absolutely not.
Listen, I done did talked about love and basketball, baby boy, and what
Yeah.
love homes, everything being toxic horror movies actually.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I know these are y'all hood classics, but they're struggle love nonetheless.
I know. I hate to say it because Love and Basketball was my
That
favorite
was
movie
my favorite
back
movie for a
then.
long
And
time.
as I see it, as I'm older, I'm like,
Yeah.
child,
I tried to
absolutely.
watch it again recently and I couldn't even finish it. I was like, oh, this is trash.
Oh,
Good movie, I guess it brings nostalgia, but the love story wasn't. I don't. I'm not cute and say I love you the whole movie. So
same,
is this a love story? Where is the love?
same. Yes, older
Yeah,
and wiser.
you know better
Amen to
than
that. And we're not going back
better. Mm-mm.
because absolutely not. Thank you again, y'all, for joining us.
Thank you,
And
everybody,
we're about to get up out of here, and we will
for
see
having
y'all
me on
the next
the
time.
It's fun. Thank you.
You're welcome. See y'all next time, y'all. Holla.